Hello, everyone. My name is Tamaan Osbourne-Roberts. Oh, that's right, in clicker. I might need that. There we go. And I'm a family physician, much like all of you. And I'm here to talk about my experience with NCCL, which is, kind of interesting. It's a little varied. I actually came to NCCL and came really to the AAFP as a whole, already having actually been involved in admin and policy in other places in organized medicine. I got involved with organized medicine through the AMA. Anyone want to bore his, just get out of your system. As a medical student. I actually ended up serving on the National Governing Council as a medical student and continued my service at the state level and nationally through my residency. Was kind of going along that path, kind of figured, okay, this is kind of where I'm doing policy, this is where I'm doing things. It's overall been relatively successful. This is actually a photo of me during my inauguration as president of the Colorado Medical Society, where I was the first person of color and the youngest person ever in the 143 years of the organization before that. Woohoo! I didn't expect that. Long and short is, things were kind of going well. And it just so happens I was lucky. I'm from Colorado, as I'm sure you surmise. And this, really just kind of, quirky, kind of interesting gentleman named Jeff Kane, who some of you might be familiar with, comes up to me and he's like, no, we gotta get you to, at that time, NCSC. And I go, no, I got this other stuff, I'm a resident, you're trying to kill me, I don't have time. And he's like, no, you don't understand. You have to get to NCSC. And eventually I did get to NCSC, and it really changed my entire perspective on not simply my relationship with the AAFP and with what we do here in our family medicine, but with the things that I do in other places, and the things that I do in other spots. This picture was actually taken by a former convener of NCCL, Kim Yu, and who's an amazing photographer. She's incredible. If this family medicine thing doesn't work out, I think she's got a future. And the long and the short is, it's an interesting photo because what you can see here to some degree is I suppose, there's a guy, me here in a suit. There's some success, looking out of the window at the city, looking to change the world. You kind of get that. Look at the face. There's something there. It's a little sad, maybe a little empty, maybe something's missing. There's a lot of opportunity here, but there's also something that appears to be just not quite there. And it really kind of took me coming to this place. So what I've come to think of is, my family medicine family, to really discover what that is. Now, to explain how that all came together, I'm going to use a metaphor of the ocean. Despite being from the most landlocked state in the Union, I wasn't always from Colorado. My parents were from the Caribbean, from Trinidad, hence the wow. And I was born in Guam in the South Pacific. Actually, Colorado is the first landlocked place, and to date, the only landlocked place I've actually lived. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So as you go out into the world, and or at least as I've gone out into the world, and as I've interacted with different organizations, whether it's the AMA, whether it's the Colorado Hospital Association, where, strangely enough, I'm a board member there, whether it's any of the various sorts of policy things that happen, you start kind of thinking of people in particular symbols or metaphors. This is one. The waters in policy can oftentimes be pretty sharky, more than slightly sharky. And the difficulty is that oftentimes as family physicians, and we think of our place in this world, this is what we come up with. That's a Pacific herring, in case you're wondering. And that's a little difficult because you go to your hospital administrator, and you go to a sister organization in the world of medical policy, you go to these other places, and the reception can be good sometimes, but half the time this is really what you see. So the question is, when this is what you see, how do you deal with it? The other thing actually I'll say about that is that I think it's compounded for a lot of the folks who come to this constituency. It's one thing to be a family physician in a world of harshness. It's another thing to be a family physician of color, or a family physician who's a woman, or a family physician who's LGBTQ, or new, or from an international background. All of these things really, I think, compound this and make that expression that you were seeing in that photo of me looking out at the world a little sadder, a little more difficult. It can be hard to find your footing and your grounding. And if it already looks like this, when you find yourself a little further back, it's even harder. So how did NCSC at the time, and now NCCL, change how I looked at myself? Well, it kind of took me through a series of stages. So I was able to come here, meet a lot of amazing people, build some incredible relationships, some of my strongest relationships, and eventually started looking like that. It's like, still nice, still friendly, still cuddly, but, you know, it has a little more gumption. You know, we roam in packs, you know, and frankly, we can take care of business if we have to. So that was the first evolution, and allowed me to really begin coming out. But then I realized, no, we're not dolphins, we're orcas. Biggest dolphins in the ocean. Majestic, remarkable, and those sharks have no idea what's coming for them. But this seems, you know, it was nice, it was kind of, you know, great to get into that spot, but it didn't quite seem right. And eventually I realized this is where we are. We are the ocean. At the end of the day, family physicians really bind and hold everything in the system together. Without us, faster than anything else, the system fails, it falls. It doesn't hold together. We might look calm and serene, but in particular, this group, we're the ones who make the change. We are the ones who make things better. That's our role inside of all of this, and NCCL taught me that. So in conclusion, at the end of the day, I can't tell you how much I've gotten from this incredible group of people. I've gotten lifelong friends. I have discovered amazing, new ways to approach my career, and I've developed a home, because as much as I like going out into the other places, swimming with a few sharks, and maybe giving them a few bites now and again, it's always nice to come back, have a gentle shore to wash up on, and a place to hang out. Thanks.